Welcome to the Outlandish podcast. I'm here with Shan Renee, one of our star live stream hosts. Shan, tell them who you've live streamed for and how much money you've made in total.
Okay, so I've live streamed for Crocs, I've live streamed for Danny Morgan's, and I've also live streamed for Nature Spell, and now I'm on Bloom. And I've made, I believe, about $500,000 live streaming.
Wow, $500,000. Okay. So tell us like how you got started in this and like where it all came from.
Yeah, so I was actually in college and I didn't want to move home. I wanted to stay in LA. So I wanted to get into marketing, actually. I was a sociology major. I was looking up on Indeed a bunch of marketing jobs and I found Outlandish, live host. And to be honest, I thought it was a scam.
Oh, really?
So I was like, there's no way this is a thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just going to see where it takes me. 2 months went by and later I talked to the hiring manager at the time and was like, he was talking about it and he was like, yeah, actually I lost like your resume and I couldn't find your resume for the longest time.
Yeah, that's why she doesn't work anymore at Outlandish.
But anyway, so I came in 2 months later, auditioned, and I think a couple of weeks later I heard back and
Okay, so which stream did you start on and how did it all start?
So I started with Danny Morgan's, which was like a really small boutique, and kind of everyone started on Danny Morgan's. Everyone was just getting started there. And another host at the time, I was kind of like, she was my mentor.
Yeah.
And I worked really closely with her on that brand. And that's kind of when I really started to actually like love live streaming. And it's really fun.
And so you start going live, and that was the Wrangler bag, right?
Yeah.
What was the first live stream like?
The first live stream was horrible. I was so nervous. I thought I was going to throw up and cry all at the same time. And afterwards, I remember calling like my best friend and she was like, you know what, the next day, like just go in there, be confident, it's going to be okay. And the next day was better.
Because people always think that live stream looks really easy, but it's really not. Yeah. It's I would say it's one of the hardest jobs in terms of stamina.
Yeah.
It's like a long time.
Yeah.
And we have like tons of training. Like I think we do 2 weeks of training before anyone even goes on the live stream now.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell us. So you went from the Wrangler bags, and then what happened next?
So after I was doing the Wrangler bags, that was someone else's brand. So I was just like the assistant for that brand. And so then I auditioned for Crocs, and I ended up getting Crocs. And so then I started live streaming with Crocs. I was also doing another brand at the time, Nature Spell. And that's just, I was doing both at once.
Okay. So on the Crocs stream as well, you streamed with Jason Derulo and Berner. So tell us about that experience.
That was crazy. That was really fun, especially the Berner one, because I got to go to New York and I had never been to New York City.
Oh, really?
So that was really exciting. Also, I'm a big fan of Berner. So that one was really fun. And then obviously the Jason Derulo one was really amazing as well.
So tell us like because I know there was a lot of planning involved in the Berner and Crocs live stream. What was the live plan like? And can you like walk us through how you go from a concept to having a successful live stream with a celebrity?
Yeah, so I think with the Berner one, it was cool because I was actually a fan of her, so I knew what questions I wanted to ask her. But that's really where it came from. I watched her stand up and I was like, okay, what questions can I ask her so she can be funny, but it can also get brought back to Crocs. And so it kind of just started with questions that I wanted to ask her and then bringing in the Crocs launch of their Big Hog as well and kind of just tying the two together.
Okay. So maybe talk us through like the strategies that we use at Outlandish and hopefully you've been taught the engagement and like how do you make a sale? Because like we can get, let's say like Berner or any host to go on a live stream, but how do you convert sales? Because I think that's kind of the secret, right? One is, okay, how do we get viewers and get them to watch for a certain amount of time? But how do we increase the urgency to a certain point that people actually buy right there? Right.
Yeah. So that's like definitely like the urgency and also the FOMO, like fear of missing out. I think also when you have a celebrity like Berner, obviously that's not happening every day. So immediately people know it's like a special stream and they don't want to miss out on the deal that's going to come with that special stream. I think with the celebrity live streams, the celebrity is more so just there to be entertaining. And it's the host job to really drive the sale, to be like, this deal's never going to happen again. And to really do like instruction, suspense, rewards, to get people in the room and be like, do this, and then this will happen.
Maybe explain like what does instruction, suspense, reward mean?
Okay, so instruction is like you give the audience something to do. You're like, if you do this, this will happen. So with the Jason Derulo one, if you guys get us to 1 million likes, Jason Derulo is going to put on a concert.
Yeah. Can we show Nada, can we show the Jason Derulo live stream? So the Jason Derulo live stream, can we pull that up? So we'll show the live stream here with Jason Derulo. Let's see if we can get it up. But so because on the Jason Derulo one in particular, obviously when a celebrity is on a live stream, we're not expecting him to like know the ins and outs of a brand, right? So we have to do. Oh, here we go. So what were you doing at this point?
I was talking about the shoe. So he's like trying on the shoes, and I'm like talking about them. I'm like, hey, do you want to go model them? And kind of calling out like the features of the shoe. So his job is kind of to be just like Jason Derulo, and then mine is to sell.
Yeah. And there was 3,500 people watching at that point. Yeah, so that stream did really well. And I think in my opinion, from like a brand perspective, the value of this is crazy because like not only are you getting a 63, how many followers does he have? 63 million?
62 million, something like that, yeah.
62 million follower celebrity to talk about your brand for 4 hours straight. Like that's a crazy amount of value. And then you can clip that and then upload. I think let's move back just a step and explain to people that don't really know what is a live stream and why should like brands and creators take live stream seriously. And yeah, what is social commerce and what is live stream? Like, how would you explain it?
So social commerce, it's selling on social media. And I think it's definitely where it's at right now. Everyone's on social media, so you definitely need to be using social commerce right now. And live streaming is a great way to get out to so many different types of people that might not ever look on your profile. They might not ever be interested in Crocs, but now they're seeing Jason Derulo sing about Crocs.
Yeah.
They're going to jump in there, and then they might find a style is actually really cute and there's a great deal going on. So live streaming is definitely an amazing way to reach different targets. I think that we reached like multi-million impressions on Crocs live streams, just like with me alone.
Yeah.
So you're reaching a lot of different people, and it's also entertaining. So more people are going to jump in.
How many viewers would you say you get on average in a live stream?
Like at once or just like in total?
In total.
Like 100K.
100,000 every day. Yeah, that's like how much would someone pay for $100,000 viewer video every day? I think it's really valuable. Even if you don't make sales, that's 100,000. Can we pull up the Crocs live stream as well, so we can see Shan in action here as well. Yeah, and what do you think? The difference between like live stream, there's a difference between like this kind of live stream and traditional retail is.
I think retail can be kind of boring. It's just like, okay, you're going in, you're just buying. It's very transactional. When you do a live streaming, you build community and people start to trust you and they kind of like you. And so they're coming in for also you. And they also like, maybe they like your style, so they trust you to like give them good shoe recommendations, things like that. It's more personal.
Do you have like a big community now of people that just follow you everywhere?
Yeah, sometimes I'll jump into a random stream. They're like, oh, it's Shan from Crocs. They're like, are you on Bloom? Things like that. So people do start to recognize you for sure.
Okay. How many people would you say, because if 100,000 people every day and you've been doing it for like a year, that's 360, that's a lot of people. Yeah. How many people would you say like come and recognize? Have you been recognized outside?
I've never been recognized, which to me is kind of crazy because so many people do see it, but it's worldwide, obviously.
Yeah. So do you want to be recognized?
No, I think I kind of like being recognized. I think I kind of like just jumping onto streams and having it be like a TikTok world. So
for the average viewer, do you think live stream, especially like let's say when you do a live stream, is it more about the entertainment Is it more about the customer service or is it more about the sales?
When I do a live stream, I think it's more about the sales. Like I'm definitely up there to sell. And I think most of our brands want a high GMV. That's the brand goal. That's our goal. But you have to have a little bit of community in there as well to make it entertaining, to make it interesting. And I do find that when I have a community in a chat, it just makes it more fun for everyone. And then the sales come because everyone's having fun.
Walk me through how that works. Let's say on Bloom, for example, you have, we call it the live loop, right? Yeah. And you work that into the live loop. Explain kind of how that works.
Okay, so yeah, I'll like intro people into the live. I'll welcome people in. I'll say my name. I think that's a big thing too, is like saying your name. You're not just there with Bloom. It's like, I'm Shan. I love this product. Like, here's why. I'll get into the product, kind of the faves, which for those who don't know, it's like features, advantages, benefits, evidence, sell. So it's all about the product.
Talk through the faves a bit more.
Okay. So features is like what's in the product. So with Bloom, it's like, okay, it has fiber, probiotics. Like you get into all the ingredients and then you go into the advantages. So like, why is it better than anything else out there?
Yeah.
And then the benefits is like, well, what is it going to do for you? Why do I need this? The evidence is like, well, it's not just me saying this. We also have reviews. And then the sell is like, you guys cannot get this deal anywhere else. It's only on the live.
So you're almost like, before you even sell the product, you build up the product to the point where they're like, I need this. And then you're like, you have to buy it now because of this reason.
Yeah.
And then that's like, you see the spikes. Do you see spikes when you go through the loop? You're like, definitely. You have the expectations at different areas of where the sale is going to come before it's even made. Definitely.
I think when you get to the sell part, people already know that they're going to buy it. And then when you're like, oh yeah, and also it's only $10 right now and it's normally 20, then it like really happens and you do see that spike.
Yeah.
And also I just think because it's really exciting too, if like the host is making it exciting, like, oh my gosh, guys, I can't believe this is happening, then everyone's like hyped up in the chat. So finally when the deal does drop, they're all ready to go.
Do you think is the repurchase rate high? Are you seeing like people that buy once, they come again and buy again and again?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think like I'll see the same person buy every single day for like 2 years.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's definitely a lot of like repurchasing for sure. Like once you hook someone in, they're always going to come to your live.
Yeah. When I look at data, it's really high. If you look at like, I don't know how true this is, but like on QVC, I heard the repurchase rate was 90%. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's close on TikTok Shop.
Yeah.
And other platforms. This is live stream in general. Once it becomes a habit of buying, you just kind of get addicted to it.
Yeah.
And they're like, where is Shan? I need to buy from Shan.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's also more exciting. Like when you go to a retail store, maybe you're kind of dreading going in. It's like a whole thing. But it's exciting when you shop on TikTok Shop and it becomes fun.
What would you say was the biggest lesson that you've learned through a live stream? Like, whether that's through a massive mistake you made or when you learn something, it's like, oh, I wish I knew that.
I think looking back at like my old clips, I think...
You watch your clips back?
Yeah, I do sometimes watch the clips back. And I was actually going back before this to some of the ones I first started with. And I think just being kind of like too timid, like was a big one in the beginning. Like maybe you kind of overthink the loop a little bit too much. Like you're a little bit too focused on it. Like, yes, you should be prepared. You should have a loop. But at the end of the day, know that it is like fun and that you're just interacting with the community.
That's why in the Outlandish training, I always emphasize iteration. Like every day you need to go look at your data.
Yeah.
And figure out, okay, where did I make a sale or where did I not make a sale? What did I say? And then work on that all the time.
Yeah.
And then you eventually get to kind of almost like a pattern where you like you said, when I say this, I'm going to make this sale. Yeah. Which is, it's a skill and it takes time. Especially like when I'm talking to clients and they're like, can we just try one live? I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that.
Right.
You need to go live like 30 hours.
Yeah.
Not just for the product strategy, but the live host needs to work out over time where it's working and where it's not working. You can't expect someone just immediately go live and be like, oh, $100,000. Like,
It definitely.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it definitely takes time. Like going back to like the Wrangler bags when we were doing that, I think we were doing like 400 an hour for the first like month and a half.
Yeah.
And then we started doing 2,000 an hour. Like it was a 1 day change.
Yeah.
The product strategy change. Then all of a sudden we're doing 2,000 an hour.
2,000 an hour. That's pretty good. So let's talk about numbers then. So what without naming names, what's the biggest live you've done in terms of GMV or revenue?
I think the biggest one was $11,000 in 4 hours.
$11,000 for 4 hours. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Almost 3,000 an hour. Yeah.
If a brand is like skeptical about doing live streams, what would you say to them?
I would say why. Like, you should definitely be doing live streams. It's just kind of ridiculous not to at this point because you're just getting so many impressions. Like we were mentioning earlier, even if you're not making sales, you're getting so many people just to view your product that maybe would have never even known about a product. But because they're now seeing it on live, now they're interested in it. So even if they don't buy it right then and there, they're now thinking about it and they're going to come back to the page.
Exactly. And a lot of brands are like not just on TikTok Shop, but they're in retail. And if they saw Shan on Crocs or on Bloom, and then they go to the retail and be like, oh, I saw that on the live stream, you're getting 100,000 views a day times a month. That's a lot of people, guaranteed almost.
Yeah. And it definitely creates a more like personal experience for everyone. So I think that they can start to like just like see Crocs as less of just like this corporation and more of like this community.
Yeah. I mean, especially after watching, even because like, to be honest, I don't talk to all the live hosts, but after I watch them for a while, it's kind of weird. You feel like you know them. Yeah. So I'll walk up to them and be like, oh, that was a great live stream. And they're like, oh, didn't even realize you were watching. Right. And I think a lot of people with like the audience is watching these live streams and becoming almost like, well, you almost become an influencer from live streams, like a live stream influencer, which it's interesting to me, like the career path of a live host. I think there's two, right? This is nothing to do with brands. I think this is just a live host. It's like, one is you can go from a live host to eventually becoming a creator, kind of like, we worked with a few people, you'll know who they are, but they start as live hosts, they go live for a year straight. And what we found out is when they go live off their own account, even if it has only like 1,000 followers, they will get the same amount of viewers that they would on a big brand. Yeah. Because at that point, people are just scrolling for you, which is crazy to think of. So this whole like career, I think it's just in the beginning phase. So I guess, so my question would be, what would you say to anyone that was considering live stream host as a career?
Well, first of all, I want to touch on how you were saying like people come just for you. I've had people invite me to their wedding from just
to their wedding. Yeah. Did you go?
So no, but it's been getting kind of crazy with that. So no, people definitely like will come just for you. Yeah. But the second part, as far as like making this a career, I definitely think this could be like a long-term career for sure. I think how you were talking, like being a creator, I think that's more like long-term, that's more sustainable for somebody doing different brands. I think that it can be a lot if you're just doing the same brand for multiple years. I don't see that being like a long-term thing. But as far as being a live streamer, you can definitely make that a long-term.
Yeah. And would you say like, from like a job perspective, compared to, let's just say working in traditional retail, how would you rate being a live host compared to doing something else? Live
host is definitely a lot better than working in retail. It's fun. It's like exciting. Yeah. And it also like you use your brain more. It's like it's not just you going up and ranting. Like it might seem like that. Some people come into my live and maybe just think I'm ranting, but no, there's a lot of thing that goes into it. Yeah. A lot of prep. And it's like, it's not anyone can just go up there and talk about grease powder. There's a lot of prep that goes into it.
Yeah, and we like the fabes, the rule of three, and a lot of these things. I mean, we're inventing every day because it's such a new industry.
Yeah.
And what would you say is some tricks? So let's say you're a live host and you're just starting as a creator, or you're working on a brand. What advice would you give them to increase their revenue?
Well, go live every single day, like be consistent with it and try different things for sure. And yeah, like try different strategies. I think it really does come back to the suspense, instruction, reward. Like that's a big thing. Like having that always going throughout your loop. You can't just talk about the product. You need to also have the engagement part, and people need to be excited to be in there.
Yeah, that's like even before we sign on a business, we need to set the expectation. Like, so I guess the question for you, how important is or isn't having flash sales or discounts in the live stream? And is it about having deep discounts, or is it just about having a deal?
It's about having a deal is what I've definitely learned, especially from doing Crocs. Like I've learned that it's not about a deep discount. They just want to see the flash sale. They might not even know if it's like the same price, but it's the fact that they're seeing a flash sale timer. That's what makes it exciting.
It needs to be like, you have 2 minutes. It has to be almost like gamified.
Exactly.
In a way.
It is a game. Yeah, it is a kind of a game. And there's that urgency.
Well, we were talking about when you were on the Wrangler bag stream, how you were making, what is it, $1,000 an hour? And what were they buying?
Were they buying? Yeah.
What were they buying?
What were they buying? They were buying cow print mystery bags. So they didn't even know what...
They didn't even know what they were buying. It was a mystery. It shows like how powerful and how much people watch live stream shopping, not just to buy like what you're selling, but to have fun. They're like, I don't know what it is. Let's have some fun. I'm going to buy it right now. It's a good deal. Let's go crazy. Yeah. So go ahead.
That one too, I think why it was so successful was the community building. I think that one specifically, it was like great community, and people really came in for the host because it wasn't just me. I also had a partner in that one.
What would you talk about like to build a community? How would you build it?
We would kind of just talk about like our friendship together because again, I had a partner. And so then that's why it was like a little bit different than any other stream I've done, because it was me with a co-host always. And it was like 30-30 switch on and off. So it wasn't like, there wasn't really a main host with that one. And so we were talking about our friendship all the time. So people just thought that we were like, they were hanging out with us. We were all just like friends hanging out. So it wasn't even us really talking about community stuff. It was just the fact that we were like, oh yeah, like me and her just hung out. We got pulled over by the police right before this with our Wrangler bag.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What happened?
Speeding.
You were speeding and they were like, why do you have 100 Wrangler bags in your car? Okay. So if someone listening wants to become a live host, where should they start?
Where should they start? I think finding an agency is like a great way to go about it. Like starting with an agency, because then you can kind of get trained, because there is training involved. Like again, you don't just go up and talk. If you're a creator, I think also doing like creator academy training, things like that is really important. You don't want to just go up there with not knowing how to do it. You want to be trained.
Yeah. And again, like people think it's really easy, but it's really not. You'd actually, the churn rate for live host is quite high. Not because like they don't like it, but because they really think it's an easy job. And but how long do you stream every day?
4 hours.
4 hours, like nonstop. So you have to be able to talk with high energy for 4 hours. I cannot do it. Like I can't do it. I can do like an hour. I mean, I can do 4 hours, but then the next day I'm just like, leave me alone. So you have to have a certain personality to do it. But people that like it really love it. In my experience, like people that like to talk and like to be entertaining, it's the perfect job, I think. Yeah. So where do you think live stream shopping will evolve, like in the next 3 years?
I think it's definitely going to get bigger. I think that every brand's going to be doing it. Like right now, some bigger brands are already starting. Like Crocs is obviously a huge brand and they're doing live streaming. But I think eventually like everyone's going to be doing it, and it's going to be like where people might come and like watch them. Obviously, we're in kind of like an offline, online retail space, and I think that's definitely going to become more popular as well.
Okay. And if you could change one thing about the industry, what would you change?
Maybe having it be a little less aggressive. Like, yes, I think the urgency and all of that is super important, but having it be a little bit less aggressive with selling. and having it be more like an experience, like a fun thing, and people come in and watch like it's like a show. Having a little bit more of that versus like just selling.
I think over time that's what will happen. I think what it is right now is if you don't push the urgency, people just will not buy through the live stream. They'll buy through another channel. But once they buy once, I think they are just a lot more likely to buy through the live stream. So you don't need to make it that urgent.
Yeah.
You just have to be like, all right, the deal's starting now, and everyone just buys.
Yeah.
I think we're close. I think give it like another year or two, and we'll get there. Okay, so last question. Dream brand to host for?
I think I have to say Vans, just because I'm in Ventura, which is like a very like skate culture town.
Yeah.
So I'm really obsessed with like skate culture. I think Vans would be really cool. And also I will say fashion's the best. It's the most fun to do.
Okay.
Because it's very high pace and it's like you're trying on different things. So you're not just saying the same stuff over and over.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Shan.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And thank you for watching the Outlandish podcast.